Hello children, now this is Mr. Tan. Today we're going to talk about drawing a timeline. Okay, but first let's understand what is a timeline again. Now this is an example of a timeline. It has a start time and an end time, and it is joined by a long line. Okay, when we see a timeline, it is good to have at the back of our mind what time of the day it is, so we can estimate roughly how many hours span between these two times. So 7:48 a.m. is around 7 a.m. to 11:25 a.m., which is around 11 a.m. So it's from here to here. This is roughly the time that you're in school. Okay, you can estimate as maybe about 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. Now, in a timeline, there can also be some middle markers, which is part of our working. Okay, it helps us to find the duration more easily. Okay, and there's a duration as well. Okay, over here, if you were to add up the duration, you will know that this is 3 hours and 3 hours plus 12 minutes plus 25 minutes will be 37 minutes. That's the total duration. Okay, so let's recap again. In a timeline, there is a start time, there is a duration, and there's end time. Okay, now for a question, they will either give you the start time and the duration and ask you to find the end time. For example, maybe Tom went to school at 7:48 a.m. He spent 3 hours and 37 minutes in school. Then he went home. What time did he go home? Then you need to find the end time. Another question may ask you to find the duration. It will give you the start time and the end time. For example, I went to the library at 7:48 a.m. and I went home at 11:25 a.m. How long did I spend at the library? You realize the question asks how long. So that's when you are supposed to give a duration in hours and minutes. The third way the question can ask is to ask you to find the start time. So it will give you the end time, the duration, and you're supposed to find the start time. Okay, for example, Tom went to the swimming pool. All right, he spent 3 hours and 37 minutes there. He went home at 11:25 a.m. What time did he reach the swimming pool? And then you realize you're supposed to find the start time. Okay, so there's only three ways the question can ask you to use a timeline. Okay, let's take a closer look at these questions. Now in the timeline below, let's learn to find the end time. The start time is 8:50 a.m. The duration is 2 hours. Now, what is 2 hours after 8:50 a.m.? Now, we have come across questions like this before. 8:50 a.m. if we count forward in hours, 1 hour after 8:50 a.m. will be 9:50 a.m. And another hour, 1 hour after 9:50 a.m. will be 10:50 a.m. The convenient thing about adding in hours, let me write it down, is that the minutes does not change. Alright? If you count forward in hours, 8:50 a.m., 1 hour later, 9:50 a.m., 1 hour later, 10:50 a.m. Okay, so that is not too difficult. Now in the next question, the duration has changed, but the start time has remained the same. Okay, for this question, if the duration is in minutes, we might want to use a different strategy. Okay, remember that we have learned that 8:50 a.m. 8:50 a.m. is also 10 minutes to 9 a.m. We have learned to read time this way. 10 minutes to 9 a.m. Okay? To read time this way, we have also used the strategy of make 60. Because 60 minutes make up one hour, so 60 minus 50 tell us there's 10 more minutes to go before it reaches the next hour. And we will take out 10 minutes from the 25 minutes to reach a convenient middle marker of 9 a.m. Okay? Now, since we have taken away 10 minutes from 25 minutes, we are left with 15 minutes. Why is 15 minutes? After 9 a.m. Pretty simple, right? That will simply be 9:15 a.m. Okay, and that's our answer. Now, in the third question, you realize I've combined the hours and minutes together to form a new duration. Now the duration is 2 hours and 25 minutes. Okay, for this type of question, which is the common type of question that you will encounter, let's deal with the minutes first. Using the same strategy, 8:50 we know is 10 minutes before 9. So let's put the 10 minutes in first. Okay, so 25 minus 10 minutes, we still have 15 minutes left. Let's deal with hours. Okay, 2 hours after 9 a.m. We can count in hours. 10 a.m. That's 1 hour. 11 a.m. That's another hour. Okay, so 2 hours after 9 a.m. is 11 hours. So we have done this as well. Now we are left with 10 minutes. We're left with 15 minutes. We can add it in at the end. So what is 15 minutes after 11 a.m.? Answer will simply be 11:15 a.m. Okay? Now, could I do it another way where I've used the minute, I finish up the minutes first before the hours? Yes, I can. Okay, to show you what I mean, after putting the 10 minutes, we have 15 more minutes to go. We can also put in the 15 minutes and ask ourselves, what is 15 minutes after 9 a.m.? And that will be 9:15 a.m. And then we can deal with hours. What is 2 hours after 9:15 a.m.? And that will be 10:15, 11:15. We get back the same answer of 11:15 a.m. Okay, so the order of adding the time doesn't matter.